Amy Rose, you're the Toad of the Sonic series. You're definitely a staple character, hell you're even a fan favorite, but I never really gave a second thought to you. You were always just there. But recently your personality has been...
In the spirit of competition, I wish you a good race. Just keep the trash talk to a minimum, please.
confusing. But to be fair, Sega never really knew how to write Amy well, and even today they seem to be throwing everything at the wall to see what's sick to her character. Please be good. But how did it come to this? How did we get the Amy Rose we had today, and could we see another more improved version of her in future Sonic games? Well, let's find out by going through her history by seeing just how much she's evolved and de-evolved as a character. And yes, I know this is a ripoff of Relax Alexa's video, but if you're not gonna snitch on me, I'm not gonna snitch on you. Aight? So back in the 90s, Amy didn't really have any personality other than, well, girl. But that was mainly because she didn't really appear in any mainline Sonic game at the time. Hell, her first appearance was in Sonic CD, a game that was an exclusive to an add-on to the Sega Genesis that nobody bought. But anyway, in Sonic CD we first see her and, oh, hi, how you doing? Okay, bye. So yeah, back in the 90s, Amy was really just your typical damsel in distress you had to rescue. Amy didn't really do much in Sonic CD, and aside from a few spin-offs, this was really Amy's only appearance during the classic era. Heck, Sonic CD was an exclusive to an add-on to the Genesis, so if you only went by the base Genesis Sonic games, you probably wouldn't even know Amy existed. But that all changed with Sonic Adventure. This game did a lot for the Sonic series. It redesigned the characters and gave them new personalities while also keeping true to their classic appearance. And I think Amy was the one who was impacted the most by this. She had a whole new design and a new personality to boot. She was more girly, she obsessed over Sonic, but Sonic didn't feel the same way. She would get kidnapped still, but at the same time, she also knew how to stand up for herself, and even for others despite it going against her beliefs. Hell, she would even stand up to Sonic, all for the sake of helping those in need. This is the character I think Amy should have been. And she only appeared in one game, because after that she was relegated to, well, crazed fangirl. In Sonic Adventure 2, she was as useful as a warm blanket in the middle of August. She was the joke character, and again, the only time she did anything slightly useful was at the end of the game, and even then, all she did was motivate another character to do something useful. You are completely useless. Then as Heroes, where her only appearance was she wants to marry Sonic, and Sonic X. Oh boy, I'm gonna get killed for this on Twitter. This is the Amy Rose that a lot of people remember from this era, with her only personality being a loudmouth, short-tempered, obsessed fangirl whose only thought was, I want to marry Sonic, and Sonic was all like, So yeah, this is the era of Amy Rose that most people associate with her old personality. And even back then, it was easy to see this as problematic. But in the 2010s, Sega announced that they would be getting brand new writers for the Sonic series, which sounds cool, but it really was a monkey's paw type situation, where you had new writers, but they had no idea how to write for the characters. Hell, their only knowledge of Sonic was from a few cutscenes on the internet, so this resulted in a lot of characters being watered down to basic personalities. Sonic was no longer a carefree, impatient, but kind-hearted hero. Now he's a loser who makes jokes 24/7. Tails' entire arc from the adventure games was basically assassinated, but despite all this, Amy was actually the one character that got a slight improvement, as Sega decided to move on from the era of her chasing around Sonic and obsessing over him. So, that's great, right? Amy no longer has only one personality trait and can be a fully developed character. What can go wrong?
Coming up, Starfall Islands. How exciting!
See, what a lot of people tend to forget about Amy in the 2000s is that, yeah, she had one specific character motivation, but she also had something called personality. Look at her in Sonic Riders, for example, and you'll see what I mean. She acts like a cartoon character, and that's probably because she's a cartoon character. Nowadays, her personality seems to have gone back to how it was in the 90s, where they don't really know what to do with her. She's more bland, forgettable, she doesn't really get excited over anything, and I feel like the old Amy felt more alive. She'd get excited, she'd get passionate about stuff, she'd squash and stretch like a cartoon character. This Amy only seems to have one personality, independent. She doesn't really care about following Sonic around anymore, and they try to make that point clear any chance they get. And don't get me wrong, I love character development. I don't want a character to stay the same forever. But when you change a character to the point where they're borderline unrecognizable from their older appearance, it's a bit much. Please be good. And Sonic Frontiers. You want to talk about Sonic Frontiers? Let's talk about Sonic Frontiers. Look, I love Cindy Robinson. At her prime, I think she could voice Amy better than anyone. But here, I don't know if it's the directing, the script, or just her getting older, but she does not sound like Amy here. She sounds like your mom's friend that you only see when they bump into each other at the ShopRite. Like, why does it sound like you're trying to win an Oscar?
Too bad! They need me! I won't give up!
Like you're not playing Hillary Clinton, you're fucking Amy Rose. But hey, in Update 3, we can finally play as her. Alright, I'm so excited to play as the Amy Rose I remember in Sonic Adventure. I didn't know Amy was a duelist. Like, you take away her hammer. You take away the one thing that makes Amy Amy aside from liking Sonic, and you replace it with cards. But wait, she does have her hammer. What is this, Amy's delivery service? So you're starting to see what I mean? Amy isn't consistent in the modern games. It just seems like they're trying to desperately repair her character after the 2000s, when in reality, she didn't really need repair, just some fine-tuning. And you know what's even weirder? Her classic appearance in the newer media is more closer to her modern appearance than her actual modern appearance. Look at her in Sonic Superstars. Oh my god, she's so cute! She's excitable! She's swinging her hammer around like a wife in an old cartoon! She's carrying Trip on her back! This is the Amy that I remember! She actually has a personality that isn't just Diet Captain Marvel. And it's a shame that this kind of personality is only relegated to classic Amy. Maybe we'll never see a version of Amy Rose as good as the old days again. Wait, there's one more piece of media I haven't looked at. The comics. Yep, okay, this is the best version of Amy. Look at her. She's a badass. She's independent. She's a leader, but she's also energetic. She emotes. She gets excited whenever she sees Sonic. She helps others. This is the Amy that we should be getting in the games. Why can't we get a version of Amy like this in any other media? Oh my god, please be good.